the alarm goes off, we want to go here and shut off the alarm.
Just
right?
silence it.
Silence it. And then let's go through this, because the part that we didn't really talk about yesterday was putting this in neutral. Is that what it is? This
There's
is
off. There's hand off auto.
Yeah, so that we can pump our, well, we turn the alarm off, we go over there, we lift the lid if we see a high level, then we come in here and we have the option of manually starting the pump.
Correct.
Right?
So, should we do that without lifting that thing up?
Well, you want to see if you want to.
The reason is you can't. There's no way to identify the water level in that tank if the pump is all the way down to the bottom, or if you still got a foot or two of water left. The only way to know is to visually inspect the tank.
Yeah, well, what good is it looking at it?
So that you know when to turn that off.
Because turning it off drains it.
Because you're going to turn it off. Maybe we're confusing the situation, but you're going to turn it if the water level's high and the alarm goes off. You're going to flip the manual switch to drain the tank.
So I was also told that you want to look at the level to make sure that you're not running the pump dry. So you want to visually inspect that you can't see the pump and that it's high level. So then you feel comfortable turning the pump on manually. So I just want to have a simple protocol for us to circulate that, you know, if the alarm goes off, here's what we should do. Okay, and so I think it's turning it off. Obviously we want to make a phone call to whoever it is, right? But then I just want you to go over that the switches are in this right hand position,
Right.
and that we need to move it
once you pop the lid, you see there's a high water level in the tank. Okay. It's like, okay, we need to pump that down. So you're going to go to either pump 1 or pump 2, or both. What you can do is let me go through it this way. There's a high water level.
We're going to start videoing now, right?
I'm videoing all the way.
There's a high water level in the tank. So one of the things is you want to say, hey, is one of the pumps gone? Because what happens is these pumps cycle. Pump 1 will work, then pump 2 will work. Pump 1 will work, pump 2 will work. Pump 1 goes bad. Okay? It's on saying pump 1 is your next in line. Pump 1's not going to kick on because it's bad. It's going to go up to the high level, set off the alarm, and then pump 2 is actually going to turn on and set the alarm off, right? But it's also going to turn on and pump all the way, pump the system down. So if you just go over, pop the lid, hit hand on pump 1, pump 1's burn out and not working, it's not going to do anything. So you can look in the tank and you can see the water level going down. If it's going down or it's a high water, then you can also turn on pump 2. Okay, so it's going to have both pumps pumping it up at the same time, and it's going to lower the tank level down there. So once you get down to the correct level, then you switch it back over to auto. Okay, which is an important thing. Now, if these don't close, if you're switching there and that doesn't close, okay, hit this reset button right here, okay, this blue button, and then see if it works now, okay. If it's pump 2, if it doesn't do that, you're going to turn this back off. You're going to hit that blue button right there, okay. And it's not really something you should be messing with a lot. If it starts to develop problems, then you're going to go ahead and do that. And you can try resetting the thermal overloads too. But
you're going to want to make sure that you turn the things off.
You want to make sure that you
want to make sure it's going down. Is there a line in there? Or can you see?
No, you'll see where it just starts spitting it back out of the pump. And it's not like hey, 10 minutes later, the water level's down and it's spitting back out, and your motors are gonna blow up. It's not nothing like that. But you don't want to turn it on and then go back to bed at night or something.
When the water level was at the alarm level, and I hit both toggle switches to operate it manually, it took less than 5 minutes to drain the whole tank. I mean, it took probably 3 minutes to drain it. So it's very, very fast. By the time you walk over there, walk back, look for a minute, it's going to be drained.
So if you don't have the opportunity to pop the lid or something, the alarm's going off, go ahead and you can, without popping the lid, you can hit both both
a couple minutes.
thing.
and you'll be all
Yeah,
right.
you run them for 3-4 minutes. The alarm starts going off again. You know, go ahead and do that. Then start giving us, you know, phone calls to come out and do that. I mean, I came out few Saturdays ago, you know, on a Saturday night before, you know, your service on Sunday morning to see what the problem was, and I
Is it
pumped down the tank.
daytime? Do you need a flashlight to see the water level, or can
No,
see
you
it?
can see it from during
Yeah,
the daylight.
you should be able to see it.
Definitely
Yeah.
Worst case, what happens? Let's say if the water level alarm goes off, the tank is full, both pumps don't work, nothing's working. What's going to happen is that tank's going to fill up, and it's going to start back filling,
Into the toilets.
and it's going to back up where you see the trench is, and it's going to start filling up the lateral, the main line, the sewer line that you have, and it's going to start traveling to the kitchen first, and then it's going to go back to Issei Hall and the classrooms, right? So all three of these buildings are tied into the same sewer line, and essentially it'll fill up and it'll start spilling into the grease interceptor tank and filling that up before it starts backing up inside the kitchen, and you see water level, you know, literally sewage levels inside the kitchen coming back up. That would be an extreme case if this was full and you just have an influx of water coming into the system and it didn't work. That's what would happen. But that would be, just want to explain that. But
It would actually probably start coming out of the lid here
Yeah,
first
you
before.
could open the.
or it could be coming back from
You
the
could,
lid.
you could open
Yeah.
it, clean out, and just go fill up the parking lot.
So Mike, we talked about trying to take a picture of this and then having steps, instructions, right? So we'll still try to do that. Keep it here. Alarm goes off. You know, here's the steps you should take.
Don't you have a simple instruction?
Well, I mean, I haven't seen it, but I think we're going to try to make one too.
Oh, sorry, you can't leave that switch off for more than 5 minutes because you burn the motor out. Is that true?
You're not gonna burn a motor out that quick. I mean,
Oh.
I'm saying you don't want to switch these things to hand.
Yeah.
The alarm's going off, switch them to hand, going up. Now the alarm's not going off anymore. But because what's happening is these pumps are now running.
Yeah.
They're just gonna run and run and run
Oh,
until
I see.
the thermal overloads kick out, or you know, or they're just gonna keep running.
Okay, so
Yeah.
that's in the running mode right now.
This is hand, what's called hand position. We're both
That's the
looking at it.
hand position.
Hand position.
What does that mean?
Manual.
Manual thing. I'm
Oh,
turning it on.
okay,
Those pumps are
okay.
staying on until I physically come over and
Okay.
turn these switches
I
off
got you
again.
now.
Okay. Now this is the other thing here. This is fed from panel A,
Yeah.
31, 33, 35. Okay. So that's the panel that's in the entryway, in the closet in there. So that would be another thing to be able to check the breaker here too. So. And you have to have all three legs. So if you drop a leg at your main switchboard or something, you know, sometimes older buildings and stuff that have, you know, if something dies, you have to have all three legs for
this
these.
is a three-phase?
This is all three-phase
Oh.
for these motors to be able to run. So
Now, is it one switch or are they independent?
it's one breaker, three poles.
3 poles. So
Yes.
it's just a wide switch.
Yeah, it takes up 3 spaces.
Great.
So, and the panel number, I've labeled everything. So it's panel A, 31, 33, 35. And then you can also see it's on the panel schedule there too. Okay?
So, between the kitchen and the grease trap,
Interceptor, yeah, sure.
is there a trap?
There is a clean out. There's not like we need a trap.
Well, so
There's
the
a grease
sewer
trap.
gases don't come back into the kitchen.
The traps are the fixtures individually. Each fixture inside the
Not
kitchen.
with the air gap. I'm talking about the air gap one. You know, right underneath the sink, you got that air gap, and then it goes to the sink. The sewer
Right,
trap.
right. So at the floor sink, there's a P-trap below it, underneath the slab.
Okay, good. That's what I was trying to.
Right, right. So that's what. Yeah, every fixture, whether it's the faucet, little P-trap, or the floor sinks, all have the same P-trap.
Okay, great.
Even the drains in the floor,
Yeah.
area drains, there's a P-trap in there. That you
That's
still
what I
want to put a little water in every once in a while to keep that water from getting stagnant and stuff.
That crowbar is to let that
Right. Larry
Cover
went
up,
out
but that's
and
not a good
bought
place to put it.
Okay.
We'll put it in
something
the
lift
garage
away.
there. Are you gonna leave that with this
I would
equipment?
leave it right there for now.
For now. Okay.
I would leave it right now.
It'll
For the
last
next
about
3
maybe a
weeks,
couple of weeks.
while we work out
3
the
weeks.
bugs.
You're gone in 3 weeks.
Well, I'm gonna be gone now. No, I think because we're still working on some of the bugs. To be honest, the floats
Maybe
were
we
just
gotta
causing us
walk on
troubles.
there.
Yeah, that's fine.
And we've gone through with the pump manufacturer and the rep come out. We've troubleshooted it, replaced the bad floats. It should be working now, but we want to look at it, inspect it, make sure it works so that we don't have any issues and the alarm doesn't go off. Ultimately, we don't want the alarm to go off because then that's gonna, in the middle of the night, and wake up people.
Do you guys want to see inside the tank? So is that something?
No, I've seen it so many times.
Just so.
I don't want to.
Unless you guys, if you guys want to see it, we could show you what we're talking about and water levels and all that type of stuff. If you, the lid's heavy.
Sure, okay, that sounds like a yes
That's
to me.
pretty heavy, though. That's a lot of work.
I haven't used this thing yet, but we're gonna.
Oh well. Okay.
Now, is that,
Don't worry, it's not an expensive car.
Let's see if we can get this thing up.
I think we go this way.
Does it pull it that way? Want to pull it?
It doesn't have a hook like some of them do.
All right, make sure you
Okay.
don't lose anything.
Don't
down
have
the hole
anything in
when you
your
look at it.
pockets and glasses.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's 3 floats right here. Okay, so that bottom float is what turns off the pumps. Okay, and then the next float turns on the first pump, and then the computer will alternate it, and then the third float is the alarm float. So when it was set and going off before, the intake is the green pipe that's over here. That was the water level was up above that. So what I'll do is I'll turn on the pumps. All right, you can see. Hey, you're fine. Just turn them on. You can pump it way down.
Let's go clean the bathroom. Fill it up.
Okay. So this is pump. I believe this is pump 2. Or did you turn on both? You turned on 2. Okay. So you got both pumps going, and you can see physically that with the motion that both pumps are working. Okay. Well, it should be no. If it's above the inlet, which is right here, yeah. Well, that's where it comes into the tank. So now the pump's on, and now it's kicking it through that cycle, and we're pumping it back out again. Well, now it doesn't have enough. It's doing more recirculating than sending it out to the street.
so it's actually got a valve there to
Yeah.
keep it from sending it to the street.
Right. It prevents that air gap that because once pumps are made to pump water, not air. So sometimes you get an airlock in there. So that's what that.
I noticed there's no clean out here. Never, you don't worry about it.
We're not worried about it.
Okay. But there is a clean out over there, so there's stuff someplace in between here. It's up to here. But the figure, the women, they use a lot of toilet paper.
Oh, please.
Well, this actually
At
grinds
least
it up.
we use toilet paper.
Once it makes it to here, it actually grinds it up and then shoots it up.
From here to there, it's probably not a
Oh,
problem.
really?
But from there to here.
Well, there is a clean out on the other side of the
over there.
light pole,
Yeah,
right?
The city clean out.
So,
And there's a clean out over there. Other side of that.
cool.
Well, that's just the electrical box. Right?
This is the electrical connections in here.
Cool.
Very cool. Nice job.
Thank you.
Okay. So that's that portion of our segment.
Of your show.
Yeah.
So are there any other questions that we relative to just the ejector pump station.
No, but you know no one's gonna look in here, so you gotta leave a number on that thing.
Do you want to
Yeah.
see the panels at all?
See the panel?
The electrical
Uh,
panels inside.
Oh, no, I don't know.